2005, and they actually have an incredible story of how they came to be with us. So Charlotte, as someone who works so closely with the Dolphins, can you tell us about their incredible story?
I sure can, Teresa. Both our dolphins are what we refer to as rescued and rehabilitated animals. They were both found entangled in fishing nets off the coast of Japan and brought to a rehabilitation facility where they were deemed non-releasable. Luckily, we've been able to provide them with a permanent home here at the Wild Coast. Working with me today is the beautiful Helen. Helen has been here since 2005, and we've been able to build and maintain a very trusting relationship with her in order to provide her with the best possible care through training and regular checkups. Everything that we learned through Helen's healthcare is used to help researchers and veterinarians to gain a better understanding of these mysterious dolphins. In fact, every day that we spend with them reveals more information about their species as well as their individual personalities, which, believe it or not, are just as different as you and I. Isn't that right, Helen? Yes. But most of all, Helen and Hannah remind us every day that we still have a lot to learn about cetaceans.
Thanks, Charlotte. So as their name suggests, Pacific white-sided dolphins can be found in the North Pacific Ocean, stretching from northern Mexico up along our coast to Alaska, and even across the ocean off the coast of Japan. And even though they are neighbors of ours, we still have so much to learn about them, which is why research is so important. Now I am curious, by a show of hands, how many people here have ever wanted to research or work with dolphins at some point in their life? Show of hands. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few hands today. Well, guess what? Each and every one of you can actually help with dolphin research by reporting any whale sightings you have to our BC Cetacean Sightings Network at wildwhales.org. So if you see any of the 23 species of cetacean that share the coast with us here in BC, researchers want to know when, where, and how many individuals you saw so that we can track their movements and get a better idea of how many individuals live locally. But since there are so many animals you can find off the coast of BC, I'm going to give you some tools to be able to identify a Pacific white-sided dolphin. Now the first thing you can look for is their beautiful coloration. Now you might have noticed these animals showcase a form of camouflage called countershading, meaning they have dark backs and bright white bellies. What that does is it actually makes it difficult for both predator and prey to spot these animals from various angles in the water. This is something you might even experience here at the Wild Coast from up top looking down at these dolphins, or from our underwater windows looking up. Another thing you can look for is their size. Pacific white-sided dolphins in the ocean tend to be about the same size as Hannah and Helen here, roughly 7.5 feet long, or about 2.3 meters. That is noticeably larger than a harbor porpoise, something that lives off the coast here. And if you're in the audience and you're thinking, I've never seen a harbor porpoise before, well, today's your lucky day. We actually have two of the only harbor porpoises in a facility in all of North America, in the next habitat over to my right, just around the trees there. And these animals, Pacific white-sided dolphins, are also significantly smaller than another animal that lives off our coast, the killer whale. Killer whales here in BC can get to be about the length of a medium-sized bus. Another distinguishing factor you can notice on these animals is their dorsal fin, or that fin on their back. Now, if you have a camera at the program here today, I'm going to give you a challenge. Throughout the show, try to get a picture of both Hannah and Helen's dorsal fins. This might be a bit challenging for me. It's kind of what researchers experience on the water when they try to do this. Now, if you're successful, you're going to notice their dorsal fins are very different. Helen's dorsal fin, as she makes her way around the habitat there, comes to a sharp point at the end and is more black than gray, whereas Hannah's on the far side is triangular in shape and is about half black and half gray. So it really is like a fingerprint for these animals. No two are the same. So seeing a Pacific white-sided dolphin in the ocean is definitely very exciting. But getting too close to these animals while traveling in a boat can be dangerous for both you and that animal. So even if all you see is a head pop out of the water, like we see here today, a distance of about 400 feet or 100 meters is required at all times in Canadian waters. So to give you an idea, that's about 10 times the length of of the dock that you see in front of you here. But don't worry, it is still possible to identify one of these animals from far away, because they are considered to be one of the most acrobatic species of dolphin in the world. And I think it's pretty clear why. They are also highly vocal animals, so you can listen for them. They're known to make a wide variety of calls, and we might be able to hear some of those right now. Pretty amazing. Lots of different sounds from these animals. High clicks, low clicks, chirps, clicks, grunts, squeals, all those sorts of things. Very impressive. So we hope everyone has the opportunity to see one of these animals off the coast, and you can actually help by adding to the information that researchers already have. In fact, we know that just in August, a group of over 20 of these animals was spotted in the north mouth of Robson Bight. We actually know that thanks to people like yourselves who reported those sightings to researchers. Now, unfortunately, an observation researchers have been making is that over the years there are an increasing number of threats these animals must face in the ocean. Now, we did hear from Charlotte earlier. Hannah and Helen were both accidentally entangled in fishing nets. You might have noticed through the session that Helen, closest to me here, actually had to have both of her pectoral flippers partially removed in order to save her life. So humans really are the major threat these animals face, whether that's through increased boat traffic or a lack of available seafood. We have a responsibility to be aware of the impact that we have on our planet. Now, Helen and Hannah help us out here at the aquarium by participating in some groundbreaking research projects, such as a metabolic study that they helped us out with for over 2 years. Now, out in the ocean, we know these animals are extremely acrobatic, notably quite high out of the water, and we've gained an appreciation for that here today. But in addition to being very acrobatic, they're also hydrodynamic, meaning that they have streamlined bodies, and it's that streamlined body that allows them to reach incredible speeds of about 35 kilometers per hour or 22 miles per hour. So with all of that energetic behavior, researchers here were actually curious as to how many calories dolphins like this need to consume on a daily basis in order to survive out in the ocean. Now, to get a better understanding of that, we actually trained our dolphins to do something which may seem a little bit strange. Stay still. So we trained them to station at the edge of the dock, like you can see them doing now, and we designed a dome that would float on the surface of the water. Now, while their heads are in that dome, we can calculate their oxygen usage, which can tell us exactly how much energy they're using to stay still. Now, finally, in 2012, we got some results from this research. Acrobatic and energetic dolphins like this need to consume, get this, 15,000 calories a day in order to survive off of the coast. That's about 180 herring, 68 salmon, or in human terms, 188 apples a day, or sometimes eating 50 cheeseburgers a day. So the average human out there, you guys probably adults eat about 1,500 calories a day, give or take. So add an extra zero to that, and that means these animals need access to a lot of seafood. So as you see, Helen and Hannah really do act as ambassadors here at the aquarium, sharing their story with us and allowing us to learn more about cetaceans. And as I said, we hope everyone has the opportunity to see a whale, dolphin, or porpoise off the coast of BC here. And it's thanks to people like yourselves reporting those sightings that we've been able to track the movements of animals in Howe Sound for over 30 years. Because every sighting that is given to wildwhales.org is made available to researchers who, if possible, go out to these locations to photograph, identify, and catalog these animals. We are dedicated to the conservation of aquatic life here at the Vancouver Aquarium, and I want to thank you all so much for joining us, because as a non-profit organization, it is really with your help that researchers will reveal the secrets of marine mammals like Pacific white-sided dolphins, which again is vital to their continued survival. So on behalf of myself, the trainers, and the once again beautiful Helen and Hannah, I thank you all so much for joining us, and hope you have a fantastic rest of the day here at the Vancouver Aquarium. Thanks very much, everyone.